So last time we spoke about how to create major and minor chords from their symbols that you see in a piece of music, using a major scale and using numbers to figure it all out. Sounds complicated, but it's easy. Watch the video if you're in doubt. But today we're going to look at sevenths. They're just as easy, but they sound even better. Let's get to it. So to quickly summarize last time, we had majors and we had minors. Now majors were made up of 1, 3 and 5 of the major scale. So for C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, turn those into numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take numbers 1, 3 and 5, turn them back into notes, and you've got C, E and G. That gets you a major. And so for minors, it's a 1, a flat 3 and a 5. It's the flat third that makes it sound so sad and so sort of miserable, I guess. So major, 1, 3, 5. Minor, 1, flat 3, 5. You see, in this instance, you still take the major scale, but you flatten the third. Anyways, we're here for the sevenths. So, you've got 3 types of sevenths chords. You've got the major 7, which can often be seen written like this. You've got the dominant 7, which is just that. And then you've got the C minor 7. Now, they take their notes again from the original scale of whatever this first letter is. So let's use C major as an example. We turn them all into numbers, simple as that. And then we work from left to right within the chord symbol. So if we've got our C major 7 right here, all we have to do is take our C to start with, and that gets us C, E and G. If you imagine the major 7 doesn't even exist there, then the C on its own would get you a C major chord. Now you'd think that was because it said major afterwards, but in reality that is just for the 7th note. So the Maj 7 stands for major, and it means that the 7th note of the scale is to be the major 7th note of the scale. It's not flattened, it's not sharpened, it's just the 7th note. So if we take that, put it here, we've got C, E, G and B, and that gets us our C major 7 chord. And of course you can play this in different inversions too. You can play it there, and you're back to where you started. Still a C major 7, just in different orders. Now let's get rid of this for a moment, and then we can have a look at the dominant 7. So the dominant 7 still makes use of that 7th, but the difference is it's flattened. So if we take it down here, a flattened 7 in this case would be a B flat, but we're still taking the initial note for its face value. It's still a triad. So in this case, it's still C, E, G, but we've got the B flat in there. So that's 1, 3, 5, and a flat 7. And if you're wondering, I put the flat at the end if there's a letter, and at the start if it's a number, purely because that's the way I say it. B flat, so B flat, and flat 7, hence flat 7. Makes sense? So if I play that chord now, it sounds a little bit more bluesy than you might take the major 7. Major 7 is really nice, really sophisticated, and the dominant 7 is a little bit bluesy. So the dominant part is just the flat 7, that's it. Don't worry about anything else. Moving on, we've got the minor 7. Now, the minor 7 takes that 7 from before that we had with the dominant. Let's just circle that. So the 7 is the same, it's still flattened, but we've now got to focus on the fact that it says minor, C minor, which means that this E over here becomes E flat. So it's a C minor chord, the C minor triad that we had from last time, 1, flat 3 and 5, and we add it in to our full chord of 4 notes, and we have C, E flat, G and B flat. 1, flat 3, 5 and flat 7. And that just sounds like this. Very nice chord again. So to reiterate, we had the major 7, which is 1, 3, 5 and the 7, just taking the notes from the initial major scale. There you go, C, E, G, B. Dominant 7 is just a C7. It doesn't tell you whether it's major or minor, but we know naturally it's going to be a major because it hadn't said anything else, but you have to flatten the 7. That's the dominant. So now you've got the minor 7, which takes all of the notes from the dominant 7 chord, but flattens the third because of course it's minor. And there you have all 3 chords, and you can translate them as I said. Major 7, can be in 4 different inversions. Same with the minor 7 or dominant 7. And I would practice going around these in different keys and different positions, and try it with your right hand, try it with your left hand, and get used to all these different shapes because they are so useful. Now, don't go thinking that this only translates to C because I used the C major scale. In fact, if I started on F sharp, the same thing applies. So remember tones and semitones from last week? We go root note, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. We've worked out our F sharp major scale. Now, if we want to play a major 7, we have to find notes 1, 3, 5, and 7. So that's 1, 3, 5, 7. And there's our major 7. Our dominant 7 just requires a flattened 7, so an F becomes an E. And if we want a minor 7, our third becomes an A. It translates anywhere. So work out the formula, use numbers, and you'll be in a much better position to work out any chord in the future. So it sounds like a lot to take in, right? It's quite confusing how many numbers are involved and how mathematically orientated it all suddenly becomes. But if you work it out in this way, it'll be so much easier when you try and translate these chords into different keys. So let me know how you got on. Did the 7ths make sense now? You've got the major, the minor, and the dominant 7. And that's about it. Next time we'll be looking at 9ths, 11ths and 13ths, so stick around for that. Make sure you're subscribed, like this video if you thought it was good, and comment below if you had any issues at all or if you want to see anything in particular. I'd love to know. Right, have a good one, stay motivated, and I'll see you next time.